Have you ever watched someone celebrate with money that was never theirs? Imagine walking into your own sister's grand opening, smiling at guests, shaking hands, and pretending everything was fine, while knowing every chandelier above your head had been paid for by the land your grandfather left to you. That's exactly what happened to me. My name is Claire Bennett, and 6 days before my sister opened her luxury fashion boutique, I discovered that my family had secretly sold my vineyard without my knowledge. Not only had they stolen my inheritance, but they had convinced everyone that I had happily agreed to it. At the grand opening, my mother stood in front of a room full of guests, raised her champagne glass, and proudly announced, "Let's all thank Claire. Without her generosity, none of this would have been possible." The crowd applauded. My sister smiled. Everyone believed I had invested in her dream. No one knew the truth. I smiled back, looked directly at my mother, and quietly said, "Check your mailbox tomorrow." It was only 6 words, but by the next morning, my phone showed more than 60 missed calls. Because the letter waiting in her mailbox wasn't a warning. It was the beginning of everything she was about to lose. 4 years earlier, my grandfather, Arthur Bennett, left me something far more valuable than money. He left me Ember Ridge Vineyard, a beautiful 17-acre property outside Healdsburg, California. The vineyard wasn't perfect. It came with aging equipment, unpaid bills, endless maintenance, and responsibilities that most people would have considered a burden. But to me, it was home. As a little girl, I spent every summer beside my grandfather. While other kids were enjoying vacations, I was learning how to care for grapevines. He taught me how to examine the soil, when to harvest the fruit, and why patience always produced better wine than shortcuts. One lesson stayed with me forever. Owning land isn't about taking from it, he used to say. It's about leaving it healthier than you found it. Those words shaped my entire life. After college, I became an agricultural redevelopment consultant, helping struggling vineyards improve irrigation, restore damaged soil, and build sustainable farming practices. Every dollar I earned eventually found its way back into Ember Ridge. New irrigation systems, healthier vineyards, better equipment, higher quality harvests. I wasn't trying to become rich, I was trying to protect my grandfather's legacy. Unfortunately, not everyone in my family saw it that way. My mother, Evelyn Bennett, never looked at the vineyard as history. She only saw its market value. To her, it was an expensive piece of real estate waiting to be sold. My younger sister, Madison, barely visited the property unless someone wanted family photographs among the vines. Yet somehow, she believed she deserved its value just as much as I did. Everything changed when Madison announced her newest dream. She wanted to open a luxury fashion boutique. Designer clothing, imported furniture, custom lighting, a prime downtown location. She estimated the project would cost nearly $200,000. The problem? She didn't have the money. During one family dinner, my mother asked if I would finance the business. I didn't say no. I simply asked to see a business plan. I offered to invest $20,000 after Madison completed a proper budget and secured outside financing. To me, it sounded responsible. To them, it sounded like betrayal. Madison accused me of humiliating her. My mother reminded me that Grandpa had already given me enough. Then she looked me straight in the eye and said, "One daughter shouldn't control the family's future." I calmly explained that the vineyard wasn't family savings. It was my legal property. It supported employees, required constant investment, and couldn't simply be sold whenever someone wanted quick cash. The conversation ended with my mother's final words. "One day you'll realize people matter more than land." I didn't answer, because I believed protecting the vineyard was exactly how I honored the people who mattered most. 3 months later, elegant invitations arrived in the mail. Madison was opening her boutique. Apparently, she had found someone else willing to fund her dream. Or so I thought. I had no idea that behind the scenes, a plan was already in motion. One that would soon turn my grandfather's legacy into someone else's celebration. 12 days before the boutique's grand opening, something felt wrong. At exactly 5:17 on a Monday morning, my phone buzzed with a security alert from the Vineyard's bank account. Someone had tried to log in using an old set of credentials. The attempt failed. At first, I assumed it was a mistake. Maybe my mother had accidentally used an outdated password from years ago. I changed every password, enabled additional security, and tried to move on with my day.